Welcome. Today we're talking about something that's changing our daily lives, but you won't hear about it in any official announcement. It's like an invisible lockdown, and we're going to walk you through how to prepare your household for it. So let's just jump right in. Have you gotten that feeling lately, that it's just getting harder and way more expensive to go anywhere? From just commuting to work to trying to book a simple vacation, it's a struggle. And you're definitely not alone. So many of us are feeling kind of trapped at home, not because we want to be, but because the costs and the hassle are just too much. And here's the thing you really got to understand. This is not a government order. Nobody's telling you to stay home. This is a whole new reality being driven purely by economics. People are staying home more simply because it costs an arm and a leg to go out. And this whole situation, well, experts are starting to call it a soft lockdown.
All right, so here's how we're going to break this down for you. We've got four main parts. First, we'll look at the signs all around us. Then, we'll dig into the root cause, why this is even happening. After that, we'll get into a practical preparedness plan for your family. And finally, we'll talk about what to expect down the road. Okay, let's get into our first section, the signs that this soft lockdown is already here. And believe me, this stuff isn't hidden away. The evidence is right out in the open, impacting three huge parts of our daily lives. I'm willing to bet you've already noticed some of these yourself. All right, sign number one. If you've even thought about flying lately, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We're seeing absolute chaos in air travel. It's become a total headache, way less reliable, and so much more stressful. So what's really going on here? Well, it all comes down to the crazy math the airlines are facing. Just a few years back, they could fly a plane that was, say, half full, maybe 60% full, and still be fine. But not anymore. With fuel costs through the roof, they need those planes to be over 90% full just to break even. And that's why you're seeing all these last-minute cancellations and constant overbooking. It leaves us, the passengers, totally stranded and scrambling. Next up, sign number two. And this one hits families and kids right where they live. These economic pressures are creating massive changes in our school systems, and it's not some far-off thing. It's happening as we speak. Yeah, you can really see the domino effect right here. I mean, think about it. The cost of diesel for school buses goes way up. So what happens? School districts have to make some really tough calls. They start combining bus routes, which means some kids have to get up even earlier. They cut bus service entirely for kids who live close enough to walk. Then they start pulling money from things like after-school programs just to keep the buses running. And get this, some are even talking about moving to a 4-day school week, all to save money on fuel and energy. Okay, sign number three is all about the workplace. And this shift to remote work, it's not really about flexible company policies anymore. For a lot of people, it's coming down to pure, simple math. The cost of gas to commute is just getting so high that it's forcing them to work from home. And this isn't just a hunch. We've got the numbers to prove it. A recent poll found that 12% of Americans, that's more than 1 in 10, are working from home more often just because they can't afford the gas to get to the office. And look at the younger folks, Gen Z. For them, that number's even higher, at 16%. That's a big deal. Okay, so we've seen the signs, but what is actually causing all of this? What's the engine behind this soft lockdown? Well, it boils down to one single thing: the true cost of energy. And let me tell you, it's a lot higher than what most of us think. When we look up the price of oil online, we see a number. Let's call that the paper price. It's the price traders are batting around. But that is not the whole story, not even close. There's a huge gap between that paper price and the actual cost to get a real, physical barrel of oil out of the ground and shipped to a refinery. And right now, that gap, that spread between the paper price and the real cost, is the highest it has ever been in history. It's never been this wide before. And that, my friends, is a massive red flag. It tells us there is some serious stress in the global energy market. So here's the bottom line. You might see the news talking about oil at, say, $90 a barrel, but the real cost to get that barrel to a refinery is actually over $130. And it's that price, that $130+ price, that's hitting us everywhere, from the pump at the gas station to the price of a plane ticket. All right, so we know the signs and we know the cause. That's the scary part. Now for the good part. What can we actually do about it? Let's talk about how you can make your household more prepared, more resilient for what's coming.
Now, this isn't about panicking. It's about being smart and proactive. So first step, take a hard look at your budget. See exactly where your money is going on gas and home energy. Second, be mentally prepared for schedules to shift, work, school, you name it.
Third, maybe pump the brakes on any big long-distance travel plans for a bit. Fourth, it's a great idea to stock up on some extra non-perishable food and essentials. That way you can cut down on last-minute trips. And finally, some simple things, like just unplugging electronics you're not using, can really add up and save you money.
And, maybe the most important step of all is communication. You have got to talk about this stuff as a family. Sit down and figure out a game plan. What do we do if school suddenly goes remote? Or how do we handle a change in work schedules? A shared family calendar is a lifesaver. Figure out who's going to do what. And hey, it's also a really good idea to have a simple, low-tech way to get in touch. Just in case the internet gets flaky. Okay, so with all that on the table, let's look to the future. What are the experts saying we should expect? Where is all of this headed? Here's the key takeaway, and it's a big one. This is not a quick fix. This is not a short-term problem. Most experts agree that these economic pressures, the ones causing this whole soft lockdown, are probably going to be with us for years. We could be looking at this reality all the way into 2027. So ultimately, the first step to being prepared is just being aware. We want you to just look around. Pay attention to what's happening in your own town. Are you seeing these changes? Are gas prices changing how people get around? Are schools adjusting? Just thinking about what this all means for your family, for your community. That's the most powerful first step you can take.